2010 Ford Taurus hits the scene with a major makeover inside and out. The Blue Oval is bringing its flagship sedan upmarket with a vastly improved interior and a new exterior design that brings the new Ford Taurus into the 21st century.
The first thing we wanted to achieve was to make a car that was much more athletic, a car that was much more sporty, and a car that, of course, that had to be contemporary. We knew right off the bat that it had to be dressed in the appropriate attire for 2010. If you look at our lower grille, actually our lower grille to our upper grille proportion, and there was this discussion of kinetic design and how much it has influenced this new 2010 Taurus. I want you to notice that a lot of those shapes originated on the new Mondeo, originated from kinetic design. However, we as a design team had to make sure that we had to scale those proportions down. In fact, if you look at this detail, and you look at current shapes that are being introduced by kinetic design, you will see a family of shapes. However, we wanted to just give it a little bit more class. We added a chrome element around the lower grille, and then we introduced other lines that played off of the car. So the small serpentine curve that comes underneath the headlamp actually is influenced by this lower grille, which of course is influenced by kinetic design. To make the short end look a little bit more tight, a little bit more snug, and actually once again playing with those proportions again. The overhang on this Taurus is actually quite smaller than today's Taurus, and I think it assists us with coming up with this arrow look in the back, if you will. It helps us with a clean silhouette. It helps us with just making the car look a little bit more contemporary, a little bit more modern. Notice that we have a new definition of an auxiliary lamp or a supplemental lamp. It's not a traditional fog lamp that you will see on most cars today. It will give the car an identity, especially when you look at the car at night. The LED-based lamp just kind of defines a new beginning, a new start for Ford. But if you look at some of the theme lines as you travel down the body of the car, there was a special attention paid to making the front work with the side, and the side, of course, work with the rear, and then all being contained in the plan view shape. If you just notice some of the theme lines, there's a major theme line that actually connects with the headlamp, but as you travel down the body side, it goes through the door, and it ends up and terminates right at the tail lamp.
The new Taurus launches with the same 3.5-liter V6 that powers the current model. But soon after launch, Ford intends to raise the performance bar with a twin-turbo EcoBoost engine that will deliver at least 350 horsepower.
Coming soon after launch is a twin-turbo direct-inject version of that, the EcoBoost engine, because a vehicle like this, for the first time, screams that it needs performance, and that'll be the performance ad. We'll have two-wheel drive and all-wheel drive variants of both of those powertrains.
With all that power, Ford wanted to make sure it had a chassis that was athletic enough to handle it. To accomplish this, Ford borrowed heavily from its upmarket sibling, the Lincoln MKS.
Suspensions have been changed and modified, brakes have been upsized. The goal was a more dynamic and engaging ride and handling experience. The Blue Oval flagship vehicle, the Taurus, is going to be very much about driving dynamics.
The current Taurus may be bland, but it also raised the bar for occupant safety. The new model will take it a step farther with advanced features that are typically found on luxury vehicles.
First time, we're using forward-looking radar to be a warning system in case you really are approaching somebody too fast. This is when you're not driving in cruise control, you're a little bit distracted, you come up on somebody fast. On your windshield, inside, a heads-up display will tell you you have an impending collision or an incident where you're approaching somebody too quickly. With this car and a commitment to the Ford brand, we are introducing the multi-contour seat as a first-in-industry innovation. The goal for this project was take away driver fatigue and take away back pain that people normally experience driving on long trips. And research showed that if you're moving the seat beneath them in a low-frequency motion, you really relieve spine pressure and you really take away fatigue.
The 2010 Ford Taurus will arrive in showrooms across America by summer 2010. For Autoblog, I'm Chris Shunk.